You are sitting comfortably on the living room couch, reading a book. Suddenly, you realize that you really need a pair of scissors. You stand up from the couch with absolute, undeniable purpose. You walk quickly down the short hallway of your home. You take a confident step right through the kitchen doorway, and instantly, your conscious mind goes completely, utterly blank. You suddenly stop dead in your tracks, staring at the linoleum floor. You stand there, staring blankly at the bright open refrigerator. You have absolutely no idea why you are standing there. You rapidly retrace your physical steps in your head, feeling incredibly confused. You feel like your brain just randomly and totally short-circuited. It is a completely universal and intensely frustrating human experience. You might even quietly worry that your memory is starting to fail. But the comforting truth is, you are not losing your mind at all. Your brain did not make a foolish or dangerous mistake here. It actually did exactly what it was biologically designed to do. Psychologists call this strange, everyday phenomenon the doorway effect, and it reveals a truly hidden survival mechanism inside your own head. We like to think of our memory as a video camera. We imagine it recording one seamless tape of our entire day. But human memory simply does not work like a continuous stream. Instead, your brain chops your life up into individual separate scenes. Cognitive psychologists call these distinct mental scenes event models. Think of them as separate folders on a computer desktop. As long as you stay in one room, the folder stays open. Your working memory keeps all your current goals right at the top. But the moment you walk through a physical doorway, everything changes. To your brain, a doorway is a hard, physical boundary. It signals that one scene has ended and another has begun. In 2011, a researcher named Gabriel Radvansky decided to test this. He wanted to know just how powerful doors really are. He put his test subjects into a virtual reality video game. Their assigned task was incredibly simple and easy to follow. They just had to pick up a colored block and carry it. Sometimes they carried it across a very large open room. Other times, they carried it the exact same distance through a door. When they crossed the open room, their memory was flawless. They easily remembered exactly what they were holding and why. But passing through a virtual doorway caused their memory to crash. Their rate of forgetfulness spiked immediately and significantly. Radvansky then ran the test again in the real physical world. He had people walk through actual doors in a laboratory setting. The results were exactly the same as the virtual reality test. It did not matter if the walking distance was exactly the same. It did not matter if the new room looked completely identical. The simple act of crossing a threshold triggered a memory purge. The physical doorway itself was the true culprit here. It told the brain to immediately close the previous file folder. And once that folder was closed, the scissors were entirely forgotten. So why would our brains deliberately delete our short-term goals? To understand this strange glitch, we have to look at working memory. Working memory is basically your brain's active, conscious workspace. It is where you hold the information you need right this second. But human working memory has a very major design flaw. Its storage capacity is incredibly, almost comically small. Most people can only juggle a few distinct thoughts at once. You can only hold about 4 pieces of information at any time. It is exactly like a tiny mental yellow sticky note. And that sticky note fills up almost immediately with details. If you want to write something new, you must erase the old. When you enter a new room, your brain is flooded with new data. The lighting is completely different in this brand new space. The ambient sounds and smells are also entirely new. The layout and the physical objects require your immediate, focused attention. To process this brand new environment, your brain needs processing power. It desperately needs a completely blank mental sticky note, so it efficiently dumps all the data from the previous room. It assumes that whatever you were doing back there belongs back there. The thought of the scissors was tied directly to the living room. Once you leave the living room, that specific context completely vanishes. The brain hits the empty trash button to make room for the kitchen. This is actually a feature of extreme mental efficiency. You are forgetting because your brain is rapidly adapting to the present. It is preparing you to interact with whatever challenges come next. But why is this rapid adaptation so aggressively wired into our biology? The answer takes us back long before human houses even existed. For hundreds of thousands of years, our ancient ancestors lived in the wild. They certainly did not have hallways, living rooms, or modern tiled kitchens. They had to constantly rely on their immediate senses to survive. A single moment of distraction could easily mean absolute disaster, but they constantly moved between radically different and dangerous environments. Imagine an early human cautiously stepping out of a dark, narrow cave. They suddenly emerge into a bright, wide-open forest clearing. That sudden environmental transition is an ancient doorway, and it represents a massive sudden shift in physical life-or-death stakes. Inside the dark cave, the physical threats were very close and immediate. Outside in the open clearing, danger could come from miles away. The predators hunting you are entirely different in the sunlight. The potential escape routes are also entirely different out here. If you walk into that clearing still thinking about the cave, you die. You simply cannot afford to hold on to outdated mental files. Your brain must instantly assess the new lighting, shadows, and terrain. It must scan the new horizon with 100% of its power. Any lingering thoughts about what you left behind are a fatal distraction. Evolution ruthlessly favored those early humans who could instantly update their surroundings. It highly rewarded brains that wiped the slate clean at every single boundary. When the environment changes, the old survival rules no longer apply. You must be fully present in the exact space you are currently standing in. Your modern human brain is still running this exact same ancient software. It honestly cannot tell the difference between a cave entrance and a kitchen door. To your deep survival instincts, a physical boundary is always a boundary. Crossing any threshold means that a completely new world has just begun. So when you stand completely confused in front of the cold refrigerator, you are not experiencing a terrifying breakdown of your cognitive abilities. You are actually experiencing the distant echo of an ancient survival mechanism. Your brain is aggressively prioritizing the present moment over the past. It is rapidly clearing out the old distractions to keep you totally safe. It is preparing you to face whatever unknown dangers lurk near the microwave. It willingly sacrificed the memory of your scissors to give you complete awareness. It instinctively chose your physical survival over your minor domestic convenience. It is a profound and deeply ingrained act of biological protection. And the solution to this annoying daily problem is surprisingly simple. Since the forgotten memory was tied to the physical context of the living room, you usually just need to return your body to that original context. Walking backwards through the doorway very often brings the lost memory right back. The familiar visual cues of the couch reopen that specific mental folder, and the suddenly erased mental sticky note is magically restored. Our human minds are incredibly complex machines, shaped by a very dangerous past. They are primarily built for survival, not for completing modern domestic errands. We ask them to hold on to trivial details across invisible artificial borders. And sometimes, those rigid borders simply swallow the tiny details whole. It is simply the unavoidable price we pay for having a highly adaptable brain. So the very next time you walk into a room and instantly forget why, do not be angry with your deeply evolved human memory. Just smile at the sudden blank space in your conscious mind. Your brain is just doing its job, making sure the room is safe. It wants you to be ready for the unknown.